Hello everybody and welcome back to the Satan and Sons YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about a very special and very powerful spiritual technique. It's called magnetism. Magnetism is an incredibly powerful force. It is your ability to use your own energies and your own vibrations to command the world around you, to seduce those who are in your vicinity, and to cause people to bend to your will and desire. Magnetism is a form of mind control. This is very true. When you are engaging in magnetism, you're alluring, you're seductive, you reach out with your energies and you pull people to you. Have you ever met somebody that's mysterious? They almost draw you into them. They're seductive and captivating, and you don't know what it is about them, but you want to get to know them. You want to connect with them, or at least have a conversation with them. This person is magnetic, and they are using magnetism to command those around them. People use different variations of magnetism all the time. The fact of the matter is, we're all magnetic to a degree, some more so than others. Magnetism is fueled by confidence. Those who are confident and who have that core confidence within themselves. I'm not talking about fake confidence. No, you meet people and you know they are fake confident. They act all elaborate and alive, and you think that they're on top of the world, but inside they're insecure. Inside, they don't have that allure. They don't have that mystery and intrigue. It's like there's almost a repulsive element to them because you know deep down they're insecure and that this is a facade. This is basically just them posturing and peacocking and trying to make up for that insecurity. A person who's truly magnetic, they don't need to prove anything to anybody. They're just naturally captivating. In fact, they don't even have to be the most attractive person in the room. They could be the least attractive person in the room. If they walk with that confidence and that power, and they know how to command the energies of their body, they're going to be magnetic, and they're going to naturally pull people to them and pull them in. They've said in the past, black widows, or women who would purposely seduce men just so they could kill them and take their money, that these black widows had these captivating charms, and they could weigh 300 pounds, they could be 50 years old, they could be all these things that we're told aren't attractive, but they could work the room with their magnetism. You do not have to be a specific ideal beauty standard to be magnetic. True magnetism comes from your confidence in yourself. This is where real beauty emanates from. This is where real seductive charms come from. It's your ability to command those energies. If you raise that confidence within you, then your brain feels confident. Your mind feels that power. And your mind then sends impulses to your body. What's happening then is these impulses, these electrical impulses, are moving through your nervous system. They're actually moving through your body, which is creating a magnetic field that is around you. This is also why some people seem to repel everybody around them. They walk into a room and everybody wants to steer clear of them. Everybody wants to avoid them. There's just something about that person you don't like. This is because they're using magnetism in reverse. They're actually repelling people with their energy field. So they walk into a space. They walk into a space, and because of how they are, maybe they're insecure. Maybe they are feeding off the energies of the room. We don't know. It could be a number of reasons why people are repulsive. A lot of it, though, has to do with the inner thoughts that people have about themselves, the inner dialogue. Some people also just naturally cling to others and suck the life out of them. It's like they need to attach themselves to these other individuals, and they just draw energy from them. These people are repulsive because most people don't like to have their energy sucked from them. So in these cases, these people are repulsive. They're anti-magnetic. Their mind and their magnetic essence is being used to push people away instead of bring them to them. If you look at magnets, magnets can either attract or they can repel. It depends on the energies. Two positives repel, two negatives repel. Positive and a negative, they go together. It works the same with your energies. If you come into a space and you are naturally repelling everybody, you're going to push them away. If you come into a space, though, and you have control of your energies, you're alluring, you know how to work the room, you're confident, you're strong in your identity, and you're strong in who you are. You don't have anything to prove to anybody. You don't need to stand up there and peacock. You don't need to put on a show. You can just exist. That intrigue and that mystery will be enough, where most people will be drawn to you. They'll be drawn to you and they'll want to get to know you. They'll want to get closer to you. And the more distance you put between them and yourself, the more seductive and the more enchanting you're going to be. This is a very important aspect. People who are magnetic and seductive, they don't give their cards away. They don't let their secrets out. They know how alluring and how seductive a mystery is. How people want to know that which they don't understand. So they work the room. They work with their own energies, and they give just enough distance so that people are left wanting more. And then they draw them closer and closer, while keeping them at a distance, so they're continuously being pulled in and continuously wanting more and more. It's a really powerful skill, and it's a skill that anybody can develop. Magnetism, it flows through all of us. It's created by our mind, our thoughts, the power of our magnetic field, the power of our nervous system. When our mind sends electrical impulses through our nervous system, those electrical impulses are fused with our core foundation. They vibrate with who we feel we are. This is why people who are confident and who know themselves at their core have this charismatic charm to them that draws everybody in the room to them. It allows them to reach people, and it allows them to connect with people on a very deep level. People who are magnetic also have the power to get information out of others. They have the power to actually make people trust them. You can send out a lot of different electrical impulses into the world around you. You can make yourself trustworthy. You can make it so people want to open up to you. They want to tell you their secrets, and they want to connect with you. It's a very powerful skill, and when you develop it, it's absolutely amazing what you're able to accomplish when you have control of your energies and you are actually captivating and bending the world to your will. You can also open doors this way. When you're magnetic and alluring, you can go into a room and you can target different people. People who might have things that you desire. People who might have opportunities that you want. If you can get in front of them and you can talk to them and work your magnetic charms on them, it'll open doors for you. It'll open doors and opportunity, and you will be able to live your dreams, get what you desire, change careers, make contacts with people who are in industries that you want to be a part of. It's a powerful skill. You want to make sure that you're in control of it, though, because you can also be too magnetic. You can be too magnetic where people become obsessed with you. They become obsessed with you, and then they're driven mad when you don't give them attention. Some people are so magnetic that if they get too close to people and then they pull away, those people actually go crazy. This is why some people who work with love magic, which is a varying degree of magnetism magic, they get stalkers. The people who they work their charms on actually start stalking them. They become obsessed with them, and it can turn into very dangerous situations where they can actually try to hold them hostage or try to force them to be with them, or they won't let them go. So you can actually be too magnetic. It's a balancing act. A person who has strong mind power and who is strong in their understanding of themselves, they can actually control their magnetism. They can turn it up or turn it down depending on the situation. If they're in a situation where they need to connect with others and they want to make very specific connections, they can turn their magnetic charms up and work their way towards that person. If, however, they're in a situation where they want to pull back from people and they don't want everybody around them, they want their space, then they can actually turn their magnetism down and be repulsive to people. It's a skill like any other. I say that when it comes to these skills, you want to make sure they're balanced and you want to make sure you're in control. There's always two extremes to every skill. So in this case, magnetism would be you're too magnetic and everybody wants you, or you're too repulsive and nobody wants to be near you. So in that case, you want to have an understanding of both those extremes. You want to know, yes, I can actually be too magnetic, or I can actually be too repulsive. So once you understand those two extremes, what you can do then is you can balance them. You can shift and move along this spectrum. So when you need to be magnetic, you turn on the charms, you make your connections. When you want your space, you turn up the repulsion and you push everybody away. It's a skill that when you learn to control it is very powerful. And it is a skill that everybody has. The first step towards developing magnetism is to work on your confidence. You want to feel confidence from your core. You want to radiate confidence. You want to believe in yourself and you want to believe in your power. This is one of the foundations where magnetism rises from. Confidence. Confidence. The second thing you want to do is develop a very strong sense of self. Ask yourself who you are. You really want to have that core solid foundation. This is one thing that transfers into other areas of your life too. When you have a deep core understanding of yourself, nobody can push you around, nobody can bully you, nobody can intimidate you, and nobody can really sway you. You're actually immune to mind control when you have a strong sense of self. People who are magnetic and understand their magnetism, they're actually very immune to other people's attempts to mind control them. I know personally, I've actually had some experiences where people have tried to mind control me. I have a funny story about that. So I got involved in this group. Somebody invited me to an event. They said it was a goal-setting event. So it was supposed to be something where I'm there working on my goals, And I thought, hey, cool, goal setting, that's great. Day 2 of the goal-setting program, they decided that in order for us to, we had to go through these steps where in order to stay in the actual group, we had to make our goals. So we had to set goals and we had to make them or we'd be kicked out of the group, which that also raised a red flag, but I was kind of like, okay, fine, whatever. Then maybe there's a point to this, I'll go along with it. But day 2 was when the red flag went off and I was done. So what happened was day 2, they were like, okay, well, we're going to inject a goal for you where you have to sell our courses. I was like, excuse me? You want me to set one of my goals to sell your, okay, no, we're done here. We're done. We're absolutely done. So I made it very clear I wasn't going to participate in that. Now, what happened next was very interesting. They all pulled me into a corner and they started attacking me, basically cutting me down, basically saying, well, if you're not going to work towards attaining this goal, then that's going to be your entire life and you're not going to attain any goals. So that's the wrong thing to ever say to me if you want me to do anything, because I am a very, very strong mind. I do focusing exercises, I work with demons, and I know myself. So the second they did that, I was done. I just stood there. I stood there and I let them say their piece. There was no sense in arguing with them. I knew what they were doing. I wasn't going to get into a fight. It was a waste of energy and a waste of time. The fact of the matter was, they set up the rules so I didn't have to play. If I left and never came back, if I missed a session, I failed. So I just became completely, perfectly okay with failing. So I left, I walked, and I never came back. What was really funny was what happened afterwards is people actually from the group emailed me, basically accusing me of making them all fail. How interesting is that? Don't you love peer pressure manipulation? It works so well on everybody but the strong-minded. It doesn't work on me at all. In fact, if somebody tries to say to me, say, hey, if you don't do what we want you to do, everybody's going to fail. I'll be like, well, I guess everybody's failing then. So the group members all emailed me and they said things like, oh, how does it feel to be a big failure? How does it feel to know this is what your life is going to be? Yeah, I ignored them all. I was done. Never went back, never talked to any of them again. I don't play mind control games. If people try to mind control me or use these aggressive tactics on me to try to control me, I'm out. And it's because of my core sense of self. I know who I am and I know what I want. You cannot persuade me to do anything I don't want to do because I know who I am at my core. So with developing magnetism, you do want to develop who you are at your core. You really want to ask yourself, who am I? Who is this person that is inside of me? What do I like? What don't I like? What are my values? What are my morals? What will I do? What won't I do? See, in that case, I refused to bend to anybody's will at that point. It was sheer 100% manipulation. Even isolating me and pulling me into the corner, that was a manipulation tactic. You try to pull somebody away from the group and then you surround them and try to force them to comply with your wishes. It's a form of group mind control, and it doesn't work on me. It never worked on me, ever, ever. So that didn't work. Then they tried to get the other members of the group to do it to me. Again, didn't work. All that happens is I lose respect for those people. And once somebody's lost respect in my mind, I don't really care what they think of me. If I lose respect for somebody, I don't care. They don't exist in my world. They are on the lowest rung of the ladder. If somebody has done something to actually lose my respect, I don't even give them the time of day because I don't care about them anymore. I don't care about them. I don't care about their opinion. And I don't care what they think of me. That's another important thing with magnetism. You can't really care what other people think of you. Go through life and know that you are strong in your core and you are confident in who you are. You don't have to bow to anybody. You don't have to submit to anybody. If somebody tries to impose their rules on you, you can stand tall and say, no, I'm not going to do this. That also creates a bit of a magnetic effect because people are attracted to confidence. They are attracted to confidence and they are attracted to those who don't bend. It's a very, very, very attractive feature in people. Somebody who's strong, somebody who's confident, and somebody who can't be swayed very easily to the opinions of others. A solid and strong individual who knows themselves and knows their energies. Once you have your confidence and a core sense of who you are, what you want to start doing then is you want to start playing with the energies around you. Eyes. Gazing into people's eyes can do wonder. Just be very careful for this because if you are magnetic, you can actually make somebody obsessed with you if you gaze into their eyes in a very seductive way. If you actually look deep into their soul and touch them, they might become obsessed with you, stalk you, try to find you, think you're soulmates, profess their love to you, write poetry for you. There's a lot of interesting things that can happen. So just be careful with this skill, especially with the eyes, because the eyes touch people on such a deep and profound level. But play with the energies. See if you can actually bring people to you. Go into a room and see if you can shift the energy so that people are drawn to you, so that people just want to talk to you and get to know you. Or see if you can change the energy so that people leave you alone. You can also shield your energy so that people don't even know you exist. When you have control of your energies, there is so much that you can do. Magnetism, and learning to work with being magnetic and also being repulsive, is so powerful for navigating this world and really defining your space and what you want. You can choose who comes into your circle, and you can choose where you go. You can pinpoint the exact people and the exact connections you want to make and use your magnetic charms and energy to work your way to them. When you're magnetic, you can approach people at any different level and you can talk to them. You can strike up conversation with them. They'll open up to you. They'll trust you. They'll feel a comradeship with you. And then connections are made. It's a very beautiful skill. It's a very powerful skill, and it's one that I really recommend that everybody develop because it is absolutely phenomenal for working with the world around you and getting what you want and desire. Really, magnetism has allowed me to get into the circles of the elite. I've hung out with incredibly wealthy men and women. I've hung out with the with people who with people from all walks of life. And when you're in that group, it doesn't matter where you're from. Like, I went from basically being a maid to walking with the elite of the world, and it's from my energy. It's from being able to command that confidence. It's from being able to command that energy. And they all loved me. They all loved me. By the end, we'd all be joking together, laughing together, and there was just a sense of connection there. It's such a beautiful thing, magnetism, because it's so powerful, and yes, it can work for everybody. So start by finding out who you are and feeling confident about who you are. If you have a base to fall back on, if you know who you are, what your likes and dislikes are, and what your values and morals are, then you won't be swayed by other people. You will be able to stand tall and strong, and you will be able to command the energies. The world will bow to you, and it is because of your magnetism. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like our videos, please subscribe and hit the little bell button so that you'll be notified when our next video comes up. And please, if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, please drop them below in the comments section, and I might answer them in one of my future videos. Until next time, though, love you all, and I hope you have an amazing week. Bye!